Hey, we're live. Let me invite some people over. Okay, so yesterday there was another school shooting. When is this shit gonna stop? Well, it wasn't yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. The kids were at morning mass. And this other kid that goes by Robin, I think his last name is Westbank, something like that. Hey, Captain. He walked into a church during mass and shot a bunch of little kids. And then the Democrats right away start yelling that we need to ban all guns. The gun is not the problem, okay? It's the person behind the gun. You know, and I tell people this all the time, and a lot of people understand it. Without the person behind the gun is just an object. The gun can't pick itself up. A person has to pick it up. This person, and the mainstream media here will not cover this. This is what he had on his gun. He had kill DJT. He had it spelled out. He had 6 million Jews was not enough. He had I hate Christians. I hate men. And on each magazine, he had another hateful slogan. Hey. And so the problem wasn't with the gun. The problem obviously was with the person behind the gun. He hates Christians. He hates Jews. He hates all men. Someone taught him to hate. Someone taught him to hate. Hey there. Because you don't get that kind of hatred unless you've been taught it. Hey, triple edits. Because that deep amount of hatred, I think they said he was 20 years old, that had to have been taught. You know what I mean, guys? At 20 years old, he hated all them groups of people. Okay, and here's another thing that I researched yesterday and found out that I'll share with you. Since Uvalde, Texas, school shooting, they're counting yesterday, between Uvalde and yesterday, there were 7 school shootings. 6 of them identified as trans. 6 out of 7. That should set off red flares and bombs in somebody's damn head. And I was chuckling last night. This guy, I was watching this clip from, I think it was CNN, said that we should follow after Australia and ban all guns. No. Here's what happened in Australia that the mainstream media here will not tell you the truth about. They banned all guns, including hunting guns, every kind of rifle, everything. And within a year later, their crime rate went up 400%. 400% in a year. So that should tell them that banning the guns was not the solution, right? And then, I also watched some videos and read some articles yesterday about what these kids go through. They put them on these puberty blockers. Puberty blockers makes them sterile for life. Completely sterile for life. And then they throw in hormones, and immediately when they give them the hormones, their body starts fighting back because that's a foreign entity. And instead, when the body starts fighting back, instead of them, cutting back on the dose, they double the dose. These doctors that do this stuff should be put in jail. And I don't hate anyone. If you are gay or if you are trans or whatever, fine, that's your business. But these are children. Children. They start doing this to these kids when they're 12 and 13 years old. It's not okay. And we as a society need to stop making it okay. And there's this lady from Minnesota had on a t-shirt that said "Protect Trans," and she said the most ludicrous thing yesterday. She said, when our kids tell us yeah, I don't care about that, gamer. She said, when our kids tell us they're of a different persuasion with that they're born, we need to listen to them and do what they want us to do. It's like, no. Number one, if they tell you they think they're the opposite sex, you need to get them good counseling. Okay, Suisa. They need to get them a good counselor. And they need to stop jumping right into, well, we'll cut this body part off, we'll do this, we'll do that. That decision should be made by that person when they're an adult. That's an adult decision. And we need to stop this nonsense of doing this to little kids. In California last year, they passed a law that if your kid, 12 years old, goes to school and tells the school counselor that they identify as trans, the school counselor is obligated to seek them treatment and never tell the parent. And never tell the parent. Because and that's just not okay, It's the parent raising the child. It's not the state raising the child for the parent. That's all messed around. That is totally messed around. And, you know, we should be thankful that Governor Walz in Minnesota didn't get elected vice president, because he has these three things in his state. It's a trans-friendly state, which I don't care about that. It's a gay pride-friendly state. And it's the only state in the union where abortion up until birth is legal. The only state. He passed it and tried to say, oh, no, you know, you're not understanding. Well, I went and looked at the girl's video on YouTube that wrote it. She said there should be no limitations for any reason. So I think we kind of dodged one there. Hey, Hoppy girl. And so then this shooting yesterday happened in Minnesota. And right away all the Democrats are saying, well, the answer is to ban all the guns. I'm like, not so fast. We need to do a deep investigation into this, because, like I said earlier, these kids are being taught to hate. The guy yesterday had, I hate Christians, I hate all men, I hate Donald Trump, written on the gun that he used. He also had written on the gun that he used, 6 million Jews were not enough. That is not a right-wing talking point or a conservative view at all. I just get so irritated at these people that this stuff happens and they can't wait a few days to let the information come in. They got to jump right on the TV and spout their nonsense. It's just crazy. Hi, Hoppy girl. It's just crazy what we're going through right now. You know, I get emotional with this because of a couple of things. I have 2 teenage granddaughters, and I have a cousin that up until last month taught daycare at a school or at a church. She had the inkling to quit last month and go do something else. She lives in Illinois, but still, that hits a little close to home, if you know what I mean. Yes. Okay, that is going on in Michigan, in my granddaughter's school that she was going to go to. One of the kids, one of the girls at the school identified as a cat. So the school board made them put litter boxes in all the bathrooms so that girl could properly go to the bathroom. It's like, what the damn hell? Right, gamer. But I talked to my daughter a few minutes ago. They're in the process of moving to another county in Michigan. She's always wanted to be way up in northern Michigan, and she's got the opportunity to go up there. But this is just crazy, people. So that's what I got for y'all today. That was a bit more of a rant than usual, but we had a lot to talk about, right? All right. I will talk to you guys tomorrow about the same time. And be safe out there, people. See you tomorrow. Bye.